Look, I believe that the true solution to this problem, there are two solutions. The first one, I don't want to do. I don't. And that's banning all firearms. But I'm worried that the 2A community is slowly walking down the trap set by authoritarians, and it's a long-form game plan, and the plan is, hey, when we have enough generations getting shot up in school, they're going to end it. They're going to want a constitutional amendment. It'll become politically unviable to keep supporting the Second Amendment with no restrictions, and by then, it'll be too late because millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and Gen Beta will have all been shot up in schools, and they will be just demanding it, and there will be a constitutional amendment passed because there will not be enough Gen Xers left to stop it. That's the first solution. I hate it. I don't like it. It's very authoritarian. I love the Second Amendment because it keeps the monopoly of violence away from the government. The government does not have a monopoly. Here's the other solution. The other solution is universal and easy access to mental health care. Most of these people that we see commit these crimes are cis-het white men. Boys and men. Okay? Have there been a couple of trans shooters as well? Yes. Guess what? That's a very small percentage, like less than 1%. So don't miss me with that bullshit. But the issue we have right now is we are, as a country, we are unwilling to do either. And we're going to have to pick one before the first one is picked for us. So, 2A community, you should be the first ones banging your hand on the table for universal Medicaid, Medicare, or universal health care and universal mental health care. You should be banging your fist on the table. You should be right there with the rest of us. You should be saying that. Because that is the only way you will keep your guns before the other alternative inevitably happens. Because there is not a world where I see the Second Amendment just keep living. It will not without concessions. Because the thing I don't think a lot of y'all understand is the fact that when you have enough generations deal with the same problem, at some point they get sick of your shit and they start fighting back. And so, if you want to keep your access to firearms in this country, as we are one of like only a couple countries that do, there's also a third option, of course, and I think it's the one that will eventually get proposed, and this will probably pass as a half measure. But what we can also do is do what every other country that still allows firearms. Licensing, training, treat it like you treat getting a car. Except this is more deadly than a car. So you might have to take a class certification every year, every other year in the state that you reside in. And maybe you'll have to do it in states that you want to visit and carry. I'm not against that. I think it's smart. You have to drive. You know why? Because then that helps you get the criminals. Far better. Oh, unregistered gun. Oh, you don't have a license for that. That fair charge. And I'm sorry, but that's the only alternative option I can see. So either licensing and training, mandatory training and recertification, consistent recertification, universal mental health care, or at some point there will be an amendment passed to remove firearms as an attempt to declaw the United States population from their ability to resist authoritarian government. So, the third option is the worst option. So 2A community, you got two others. You got two other chances and choices. Because I don't want to lose the Second Amendment. I don't. As a political science student, I do not want to lose the Second Amendment. It's one of the best things we have. But guess what? We have a pandemic. It's not an epidemic. It's a pandemic of shooter violence. No other country has. And we have to fix it before the problem forces radical change. Radical change. Because I know you don't want that. Because that radical change is not what you're going to like. It is going to suck. It's going to be awful. And y'all won't be able to stop it. So please, Pick option. Take the licensing or take the universal mental health care. Because the third option is the one you've been bitching and moaning about, and you keep backing yourself into that corner.